What's good, y'all? It's Crisco Fontaine. Appreciate you for pulling up to the stream. I really do appreciate it. I really do from the bottom of my heart. We're about to get it started shortly, but hey, real quick, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, por favor. And then hit that bell right next to it so that you get notifications when I upload things of that nature. If you get any fulfillment, get any entertainment value whatsoever from this stream today, and whenever I'm streaming, hit the like button. And if you don't rock with it, you can hit the dislike button too. It's cool. It helps the channel either way, man. Okay? So feel free to comment, chat. I'll try to be as interactive as possible. Once again, I do appreciate you for tuning in to the stream. And if you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Whatever is in there, I love you. Let's get into the stream. One, two. Is this one? Okay. All right. This is also a test in the booth. Welcome. Good morning. Buenos tardes. Whatever. Welcome back to the streams. Yours truly, Crisco Fontaine, a.k.a. Coach Crisco. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. I think. Let me do my little checks real quick. Hope everybody having a tremendous morning thus far. I will be having a better morning once I find out that I'm actually everything's all good. And I think that I was able, the last time I streamed, I was doing the multi-stream on all the platforms. And oh yeah, we good. We live. Let me see. I've been had a lot. So I have an intro for the sports channel. Shayla, I'm looking at you on the TikTok. I have to make sure that we legit. This intro isn't new. You just don't watch the sports streams. That's all. And I haven't been streaming. My sports streams haven't been on Twitch. So, and this is the first time that I have streamed on TikTok. Period. I mean, not period. Yes, the bonnet. So this is a little bit different streaming in the. Yeah, I'll be on YouTube with it. And YouTube only. So now this morning I am on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. And I'm live, like not just vertical on the TikTok. The first stream that I did on the TikTok, you was in there. You was the only one that was in there, and some weird dude. It was vertical, so you wouldn't have the full immersion. So like now you see everything like you would see on YouTube or on Twitch now. So you get the full immersion of the stream. And I was able to change my settings to not blow up my computer because I was running like 35-40% CPU that previous stream, and now I'm back down to my 6-7%. So changed a few settings and we got it taken care of. I don't have notifications for the YouTube. You're probably not subscribed to it. The Coach Crisco YouTube. So, but in any event, I have not streamed on this channel. Actually, let me double check and make sure that we're good on YouTube because I didn't check that. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah, we straight. We Gucci. Straight on Twitch. And I'm expecting people on the Twitch side to be confused as hell because I don't talk about sports really on Twitch. So people might get notifications and be on some, what the hell is he talking about? If you ain't playing no games, if you ain't reacting to no videos, you trying to watch this? But pull up anyways. Follow. Then jump over to YouTube and subscribe. And you can even go to TikTok and what is it called on TikTok? Is it follow, subscribe? What do you do on TikTok? I don't know. I think it is weird. Like all of the likes, followers. Okay, thank you, Shayla. I think it's weird that you can continuously like the stream on TikTok. This is a little weird. So if you see me looking down, just need you to know, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone at TikTok. See me looking over here, I'm looking at the Twitch and the YouTube chat. So just bear with me. I'm looking at 3 different chats right now. Even though nobody's in, oh no, I'm not gonna say nobody. I'm sorry. Nisha's on the Twitch side. Nobody's on the YouTube side. So which makes me sad. But it's all good. So, oh, you know what? Actually, I think I know why. Oh no, I don't. No, I don't. Never mind. Because I was playing around with the stream on the YouTube side, and I had the stream privated, so we good. People watch the playbacks more than they do the lives anyway, so we straight. All right. So let's see. To get to the sports, how you feeling about the summer league? I haven't watched a lot of it. I've only seen like highlights, and I want to like deep dive because I got some breakdowns that I want to do. The hell was that? I got some breakdowns that I want to do. Really keying in on Cooper Flagg, Bronny James, and then some of the other rooks like Ace Bailey. VJ Edgecombe has been hooping. So yeah, Bronny's been playing better. He's been playing a lot better. He's looking like an actual pro. And I think he's gonna look even better moving forward, especially when Senior gets out the way. Once Senior move his ass, then I think Bronny will be a little bit better. Or if the Lakers decide to move off of LeBron, if they try to, move him, which I think they should, then I don't think any deal that LeBron is in, I don't think Bronny should be a part of it. You gotta stand on your own 10 toes if you Bronny. You gotta stand on your own 10. You can't follow Pops everywhere, and LeBron shouldn't want Bronny to just, be like his lapdog. Let this man break off and, do his own thing and be his own man. And I think he'd be okay. Give me a second. I wish I knew how the how the categories worked on TikTok. Like, can you change your category? Because I feel like I'm in the wrong category. I can't change it though. Like it says gaming. And the other one said gaming too. So give me a second. Give me 1 second. Because I'm doing this like a janky way on TikTok. Because I don't have the followers. I don't have the follower count to actually go live. So, it did somewhat of a workaround to be able to go live on TikTok. I'll play around with it. Let me just go back to it because I'm not gonna figure it out right now. But yeah, like I was saying, I think whoa, I can't get to it. I think Bronny will do well moving forward. TikTok is hard on the live side of things. I see. But it's all good for the visibility standpoint. Let me see. There we go. Back to it. Just to be able to look at the chat. All right. I'll figure out the TikTok. But yeah, Bronny, I think he'll be okay. Moving forward, he'll be okay. But I do want to tap into the summer league a little bit more. I just haven't really had the time to really watch any games. But I did want to kind of talk a little bit about free agency in the offseason thus far, because I haven't really dove into I haven't really dove into it. You see it too, gaming ranking. I don't know. I figured it out. Probably can't with the way that I am streaming through this plugin. So that's why people are joining and leaving. Like people are coming into the stream, but they're not staying because they're expecting gaming. Okay, screw it. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the Cooper real quick. Let me see. See if I have his he had 31. He goes up for a lot. Let's see this real quick. Oh, I thought I was logged in. This isn't something that you see. You see this too often from a guy from the island of Caucasus. Just look at the the elevation. How tall is Cooper? What about 6'9", 6'10"? Yes, sir. Cooper's gonna be nice. I don't have any reservations about Cooper Flagg at all. I don't have any reservations about him. I think he's gonna be straight. He had 31 points the other night against who were they playing? San Antonio. San Antonio is gonna be nice too. They got a nice young core. San Antonio is gonna be nice. But as I want to talk about the transactions that have transpired thus far. Talk a little bit about the signings. So this is, let's see. Just go to the beginning. There's been so many of them. I don't know if I want to go all the way back. Let's go to when the season started. When the season ended. And then work our way up. All right. So let's okay. So again, we're not gonna go through all of these, but I'm gonna pinpoint some of the mainstays and how I think they will affect the landscape of the teams that made the move. So Orlando trading for Desmond Bane, I think immediately put Orlando in best team in the East conversation. Do I think Orlando's the best team in the East with Desmond Bane? No. But I think on paper they may be top 3, especially with Indiana. Tyrese is hurt. They let Miles walk. And Boston is retooling. Tatum's going to be gone. I'm still looking at New York. I'm still looking at Cleveland. Detroit is going to take a major step up, I believe. Those teams I still would put ahead of Orlando. But Orlando, they're right there. They're right there. So Desmond Bane brings another scorer, another guy that can give you a bucket. You put him alongside Franz and Powell, and he's decent defensively as well. You know, he can stretch the floor. He can shoot the three. I'm looking at Desmond Bane really making Orlando a legitimate contender in the East. Okay. Let's see here. It's easier if I just use my fingers instead of the mouse, huh? So these is just kind of, I guess you could say, minuscule. Portland wave and Deandre Ayton obviously, set up, the potential for him to be signed by the Lakers, which was a great move for the Lakers. They needed a center. And regardless of what you say about Ayton, dude's solid. He didn't go number one overall for like no reason at all. Like, I didn't think Phoenix should have let him go. I thought that they should have. Maybe it was mutual. He didn't want to be there anymore, type. But I thought that that's what they needed. They needed a guy like Ayton. He just wanted to be more of a focal point of the offense. I don't know how that's going to work in LA. Maybe he's going to have a different mindset. Going and playing with Luka and Bron, but I don't know. Maybe see what the offense looks like with him being more of a focal point. Charlotte received Collin Sexton from Utah, and Yusef Nurkic went to Utah from Charlotte. I don't know how that works for the Hornets. I mean, what are you doing with Sexton? Are you starting him? Are you bringing him off the bench? What are you doing? You already have LaMelo. So are you playing Sexton and LaMelo together, or you sliding LaMelo over to the 2? Which I think LaMelo, although he is a point, I think he could work as a 2 off the ball because he's a natural scorer. I mean, he's a playmaker too, but I think you could play a point guard next to LaMelo and get him off the ball a little bit more because, I mean, he's going to draw attention regardless. I just don't really know what Charlotte is doing. Charlotte is one of those teams where it's obvious that they don't really have a plan. They don't have a plan of attack to win games. They're just kind of doing whatever. I really don't know what they're doing, to be honest. Let's see. Jalen Williams, Arkansas boy, he got him an extension, solid extension for Jalen Williams. I'm happy for him. They call him the Asian Duke Dennis or the light skinned Duke Dennis or whatever. They do have facial features that are a little bit, and they be smiling so hard. You see all 32 teeth. But shout out to Jalen Williams though, the other Jalen Williams. Let's see. Phoenix getting Mark Williams was a good move. Really, really, really good move. And I don't understand. So the Mark Williams trade to the Lakers, it was rescinded because the Lakers rescinded it. Like Mark didn't pass physical, right? So it makes me wonder what do the physicals look like in the NBA? Like from team to team. I figured that they would be the same. Like, I mean, I guess the team doctors are all different, but I feel like this should be just a base level physical that you would get regardless of what team you're on. Because how you go to one team or you get traded to one team and you fail their physical, but then you get traded to another team and you pass their physical. Like, how does that work? I mean, maybe it's Phoenix just taking a chance at gambling on trading for him, and the Lakers knew something more. But I don't know. I didn't know much about Mark Williams before the attempted LA trade, and then I'm like, okay, well, he would have fit perfectly with the Lakers. So, now with Phoenix, Mark Williams, they sold up Book. He's not going anywhere. You just got Jalen Green. Can be a dynamic scorer. They got pieces to be decent. More than likely, they're gonna move off a Bill. They're trying to figure out the numbers probably to buy him out, get him the hell up out of there. Look for Phoenix to maybe, who's Phoenix coach? Hold up, give me a second. Who is Phoenix's coach? Not Budenholzer. See, this is why I have to. This is why I have to always take the screen off, because it'd be L spelling. I don't need you to. Be laughing at me while I'm, Jordan Ott. Who the hell is this? Give me a second. Who the hell is this dude? Man, this dude is a year older than me. Man, I'm about to actually be a coach. I'm not just going, I play a coach on YouTube. No, I'm about to, man, what I got to do? I can coach some little league or something. This dude is a year older than me. Now he's the head coach of the Phoenix Suns. Okay, well, that's what's up. But yeah, let's see what Phoenix looks like. Retooled. Let's see. Clippers, they waived Jrue Eubanks. He got picked up by somebody, I thought, almost immediately. Jordan Clarkson was waived, and the Knicks picked him up. I think that's a big signing for New York, because they're gonna need dynamic scoring. Like he's a microwave. He can heat up quick. He can get you some buckets off the bench, and that's one thing that the Knicks they lacked last season, and pretty much every year since my man Thibodeau had been there. He's just running those starters in the ground. Just run them in the damn ground. So you need to be able to play, more than 6-7 deep in the playoffs. You're gonna run your starters into the. I know you tighten up, historically speaking. You tighten up the rotations in the playoffs, but when you've been playing your starters like tough minutes throughout the regular season, once you get to the playoffs, they tired. They tired, boss. So that's a big pickup for the Knicks. Did I miss anybody? No. Garrett Temple. Oh, Garrett Temple. Didn't even know he was still in the league. Philly re-signed Eric Gordon. That's a solid signing. Eric Gordon is he's a bucket steal. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, these dudes don't even have pictures. Milwaukee Wade, Chris Livingston, Trenton Watford was signed by the Sixers. These are all the rookies. These are the rookies, I suppose. Walter Clayton. Okay. I don't want any of these individuals to feel some type of way. I mean, I'm just a nobody. I'm not scrolling past you because you are a nobody, but you are slightly insignificant. So just slightly. Rockets re-signed Jayshawn Tate. Jabari Walker to the Sixers. Dame Lillard. Now, Dame Lillard. It's interesting how the Dame situation was handled. Now, of course, he's going to be out all next season. All right, so Milwaukee's in a situation where they're trying to do everything in their power to make sure Giannis does not go anywhere. And Giannis wasn't even on board with Dame being waived. I get it. I mean, what do you do if you're Milwaukee? What do you do? You're trying to compete right now. Dame is going to be gone all of this season and maybe even some of next, or all of 26, 27, or 25, 26. I'm sorry, whole year ahead. He's going to be going all 25, 26, and maybe even some of 26, 27. Maybe, Achilles. That takes the longest to come back from. So we need to go get pieces so that we can contend right now. And we got a guy that is taking up, $30, $40 million a year, and he's not going to be available for us. So, I kind of get it, but I guess it would have been difficult for them to try to facilitate a trade to maybe get something back from him, because they're still paying him his money. They're just stretching it out over 5 years, I think. So he's getting all his paper, and he's able to sign with another team and rehab with the team if he chooses to do so, and be in a situation where he can come back and immediately compete for a chip. Now, where should Dame go? Is my question. Where should he go? I've won. I mean, the easy choice would be Miami, because I think that's where he wanted to go initially before he was traded to Milwaukee. It didn't seem like he ever wanted to be in Milwaukee, to be honest. Miami would be a decent place for a healthy Dame Lillard. They have young pieces, and you plug Dame in with Hero and Bam and Wiggs and the young guys that they have there. I mean, in the East, they would be very formidable, very formidable. But I don't think that's where he's going. Now, I think he would have wanted to go there originally, but I don't think he wants to go there because I think part of the reason he wanted to go to Miami was to play with Jimmy Butler. So I put him with Golden State. Now, you say, well, Chris, you think everybody should go to Golden State. You think Giannis should go to Golden State. I do think Giannis should go to Golden State. I still think so, but that's far-fetched. I don't think he's going to. I don't think Golden State's going to trade for him. I don't know if they have the pieces that Milwaukee would want, because you're going to need more than Kuminga. You're going to probably have to add Jimmy or Draymond to that, and I don't know if Milwaukee would want Jimmy or Draymond. So I don't think Golden State has the proper pieces to facilitate a trade. You would have to maybe get another team or two involved in a trade for Giannis to get him to San Francisco. But Dame, on the other hand, makes sense for Golden State because they're on a short timetable, and it's all centered around Light and Bright, number 30. So over the next maybe 2 years or so I think it's probably the window, 2 to 3 maybe. Once Steph gets to 40, I think he's going to probably. I don't see Steph playing into his mid-40s. You know what I'm saying? I think he's 37 now. Give Steph another 3 years, especially if he doesn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. If he don't see himself winning, or they don't have the proper pieces around him to win, I don't see Steph going to the Warriors front office and saying, hey, trade me. I don't see that. I think they would try to do everything in their power to bring pieces to put around him first before they traded him away. So I look for the next 3 to 4 years, that window of opportunity to still win, to still compete. And the guys around him, Draymond, Jimmy, those guys, they're in that same window. I mean, Jimmy is no spring chicken. He's 35, 36 himself. So you add another 34-year-old guy in Dame Lillard with them in that same time frame, that same window. He wanted to play with Jimmy in Miami. Jimmy's now in Golden State. I think he has a decent, pretty good relationship actually with Steph and Draymond, and he's from the Bay Area. So it would be great for him to go home, literally go home. Sure, he still has family there, still has friends there. To be able to play with a guy that he wanted to go to Miami and play with, to be able to play with two other guys that he has good relationships with, and to potentially win the championship at home. So I think Golden State makes the best sense for him. But he's not going to be in any rush to sign anyway. He don't have to. Man's getting paid to rehab. He getting all his coins. All of them. So shout out to Dame. I'm sure wherever he goes, I just want him to be healthy. Like, to be healthy. Like, his game isn't going to suffer, too much where we don't even know who we are looking at when we see him play. Because coming back from an Achilles, Kevin Durant makes he makes it look like it's nothing. Just, because the way he came back and he's still able to play at a high level, still averaging 27, 28 points a game, whatever. But everybody's not Kevin Durant. Everybody, I mean, that's an Achilles is a career ender in most cases. I mean, Kobe was never the same after he popped his. I think that was how Dominique Wilkins, out of his career, started to dwindle. I think he tore his Achilles. Guys don't really, these guys, the Tatums, the Halliburtons, the Lillards, all these Achilles injuries that happened this past playoffs, I just hope these guys are able to come back and still be able to play at a high level. The games aren't altered, especially the Tatums and the Halliburtons. These guys are still hella young, and not to say that I don't want the same for Lillard, but he's already a 75 all-time player, and he can literally go somewhere else and not be the man anymore, be a third option or something, and still contribute to a championship. But these guys, these Tatums, these Halliburtons, their careers are just starting. They're young, so I just hope that they're able to bounce back from such a devastating injury. So wishing them the best. The Hawks getting Nickeil Alexander-Walker from the Wolves was a good pickup for them. I'm looking at Atlanta in their defense. Should be pretty nice. They got Porzingis also. So you got Alexander Walker. You got Dyson Daniels. You got some wing defenders. You got some defenders. Atlanta's defense, they should make up for what Trae Young is not going to give you on the defensive side of the ball. They got some guys that can lock up. Atlanta's a sleeper team in the East, especially with the injuries that are on the top side of the Eastern Conference. Atlanta's a sleeper team. I don't look at Atlanta as a play-in team this coming up season. I think that they'll be outside of the play-in. I think they'll be in the top 6. For sure. Now the Kevin Durant trade. I thought KD would have been better off going to Minnesota. I thought Minnesota would have been a perfect fit for him. Give me a second. I thought Minnesota would have been a perfect fit for him. I don't know. So got him here for like 20 minutes. I'm just going over the transactions thus far. I haven't really talked about anything. I ain't streamed in a minute, so just kind of going, running down some of the highlighted transactions thus far, giving my takes on some of the moves that have happened thus far. That's all. You ain't missed much. Appreciate you for pulling up though. I thought KD should have went to Minnesota though. Thought that would have been a better place for him. You know, they're a little bit of an older. They're older than Houston. I don't know who they would have had to give up. Apparently, they had a package in place that Phoenix was interested in, but he verbally, made it known that he was not interested in playing in Minnesota. Otherwise, they probably would have traded him to Minnesota. He didn't want to go there. So whatever the package was, I don't know if it was. If I don't think Randall was even included. I think Gobert might have been involved in the package. I think. I'd have to look it up. But regardless of the fact, you still got an Ant-Man. You got, I think maybe Shannon. Shannon might have been involved in the trade, but still, if you still got, Dillingham, that's a young guy, I think it's going to be dynamic. Just sold up Nas Reed. If you're able to keep either Randall or Gobert, you still got them. I think that would have been a good place for KD to go alongside Ant-Man. I would have enjoyed to see that. But Durant in Houston does work. They do have their fair share of vets as well, but their core is still what if, or what's going to happen, or what they're going to be. I think Şengün, we kind of have a feel of what he's going to be, but Amen Thompson, we don't know yet. We know he's a dynamic defender. I mean, one of the best on-ball defenders in the NBA, young defending wing, but his offensive game, what does that look like moving forward? Like, is Amen Thompson a guy that you can give him the ball and let him create his own shot, or does he need to be set up moving forward? We've seen flashes of it in the playoffs, and throughout the season, but what does his game look like offensively moving forward? Now, I think him playing alongside KD he's going to benefit from playing alongside KD. He's one of the greatest scorers ever. And a lot of the youth that they have, your Tari Easons and your Jayshawn Tates, and I think Whitmore was traded. When Whitmore traded? Or was he not? I can't remember. But the young guys, they're going to benefit from being alongside KD. I'm curious to see how Thompson's game is going to evolve over the next couple. His offensive game. And you trade, Jalen Green, who is also a dynamic scorer, can be. He's shown flashes. And, maybe they gave up on him too soon. But you can't pass up the opportunity to get one of the greatest scorers to ever play the game. So I get it. I think it definitely moves Houston into the conversation of best team in the West, maybe even in the NBA, if healthy. I don't know if this pushes them over OKC quite yet, though. Not sure. But again, I'm intrigued by Phoenix. They locked up Booker. Don't look like they're going to reroute Jalen Green. You get a great defender in Dylan Brooks, and he can score the ball as well. You got Mark Williams. I'm eager to see what Phoenix is going to look like. If you went to Minnesota, you've been to number 2. That's possible. Booker shows Green the scorer he could be. Yeah, I think Green is going to benefit playing alongside Book. Yeah, KD had to understand that being a number 2 is probably what he is supposed to be. He is a great scorer, yeah, but if we're talking about best player or leader or whatever, because it's arguable that he was the number 2 in Golden State. Yeah, he might have been the best player, but I don't think he was the leader by any means necessary. I don't know. He benefited from the gravity that Steph Curry had. So yeah, he ate and he ate well, but and I kind of feel the same way in OKC. I think Russ was positioning himself to be the man, and that's why inevitably he left, because to me, there was no real reason for him to leave OKC. I think if they run it back, 16, 17, they run it back, we could be talking about OKC as being the dynasty that Golden State ended up being, in my opinion. And that's even without Harden. Like, moving forward, they had the pieces. They showed that they could compete with Golden State. They just choked. They choked. So if he ran it back and they come back the next season, 16, 17, I think they get over the hump. I think they get to the finals. I think 16, 17 looks like OKC versus Cleveland and not Golden State Cleveland, because, KD wouldn't have been in Golden State. So, but that's neither here nor there. It's a good move for Houston because they're trying to win now. So a good move for them. But hopefully he can stay healthy. And picking up Clint Capella, again, very good move. And they got what's my man? The dark nigga. What's his name? Jesus Christ. Dorian Finney-Smith. Good, very, very good pickups for Houston. Yeah, okay, Washington received Cam Whitmore. I thought that he was traded or he was a free agent or something. I thought that was, I don't know. Still, the verdict is out. I hadn't seen enough of Whitmore to think he would do well in Washington if he's, given a green light. I think he'd be all right. But Washington is positioning themselves to try to they have completely changed their image. It looked like they were trying to be youthful and build just off the muscle of youth. When they got Poole, they got Kuzma, you draft Alex Sarr. You got, other young guys on their squad. Now Poole's not there. Now Kuzma's not there. Alex Sarr is probably gonna he's still going to be able to progress, but you got Marcus Smart and Chris Middleton, and now you get CJ McCollum, you got Kelly Olynyk, you got vets there now. These guys they're not trying to tank. You don't tank with vets. You tank with the youth because you're trying to bring in more youthful pieces. You don't deliberately try to tank with veteran guys, and these are veteran guys with championships. Well, Marcus Smart didn't. No, he wasn't on that Boston squad. But Chris Middleton has a ring. He's like, dude, I've won before. I'm not coming here to tank. I'm trying to win basketball games. So I don't know. Again, the Eastern Conference is very Jesus. I choked on air. The Eastern Conference is very open next season with the injuries on the top side of it. So intriguing. Washington is going to be very intriguing next season. Jordan Poole, I'm really hoping that he's able to have a bounce back, able to get his career back on track. He was straight Hadouken out of Golden State. Didn't want to go to Washington. He just happened to be traded there. I don't think he ever really wanted to be there. And now maybe going to New Orleans, playing with Zion. If Zion can put the jambalaya in the jambalaya in the gumbo and pick up a salad and stay in shape, stay on the floor. I mean, you still got Herb Jones, correct? They didn't let him go, right? Man, Poole should do well in New Orleans. At least I'm hoping. He should do well. Sadiq Bey is solid as well. So, give me a second. Yeah, Jordan Poole should do well in New Orleans. Maybe this is actually a place that he would enjoy being in. It gets him a little bit. It distances himself a little bit more from the situation because it's like, okay, that situation happened, and then he was traded to this team. Now he's on this team. So now being away from that team that he was traded to from, for the as a result of the situation, now it's just like a clean slate. So he can just go there and ball. And I mean, the Pelicans, what they finished the bottom 3 or something like that in the West last year. It's not a whole lot of it's not a lot of expectation. You're not really looking at them and saying, oh, well, they're going to immediately contend next season. Nah. So hopefully Zion is able to stay healthy. Hopefully. Because I want to see what a full season of Zion Williamson looks like. At this point in time, if you're New Orleans, you got to be thinking, do we need to move off of Zion? If this man can't stay healthy, then maybe he as well needs a change of scenery. Get him away from all the Cajun food and the blackened catfish, and maybe send him somewhere, I don't know, to Utah or something. I'm just assuming people in Utah eat healthy. I'm not sure. But send him somewhere else if you're not going to get his fullest potential because he can't stay his ass on the floor. So now, you put somebody, Jordan Poole can get you 20, 25 a night. He can. I mean, he's proven that he could. He got championship experience. Yeah, I'm eager to see what that looks like as well. And I'm hoping, I'm a Jordan Poole fan. I am. And I was sad that Golden State traded him. I know that they had to because of the situation or whatever. And they weren't going to get off of Draymond because I think Draymond is who Steph is willing to go down. If the ship goes down, he wants to go down with Draymond with him. I mean, Clay was, sacrificial lamb and was pretty much let go before Draymond. So I don't think there's a situation where Steph Curry is in a Golden State Warrior uniform and Draymond isn't. So it was unfortunate for Poole that it went down the way it did, but hopefully he can bounce back and have a decent season next year with the Pelicans. Let's see, Isaac Okoro to the Bulls, Lonzo Ball to the Cavs. That is a really, really, really good pickup for Cleveland. Obviously they let Ty Jerome go. He's in Memphis now. He's in Memphis. So to have Lonzo backing up, or maybe Cleveland is taking fillers for Darius Garland, see what they can get for him. And you start Lonzo alongside Donovan Mitchell. I mean, if you, I'm not. I'm not necessarily a fan of the small guards. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think you can win with 2 small guards. Like you have a super small backcourt. I don't see how you can win like that. I don't think that Cleveland will ever get over that hump with those 2 small guards. So, I don't know. Maybe try to package Garland to see what you can get if you're Cleveland. Because I think Lonzo, when healthy, is one of the top point guards in. I mean, he's I know his knees are shot now, but when he was healthy, and Levine was healthy and DeRozan was healthy, it's like people forget that the Bulls were like number 1 in the East before all the injuries transpired. That 1 year, whatever that was, couple of years ago, they were top in the East. So that's a good pickup for Cleveland. But I think it positions them to be able to maybe move off of Garland if Lonzo was able to stay on the floor. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Charlotte got Pat Connaughton. Pat has always been solid for Milwaukee, so that's kind of a big loss for them. It doesn't look like it on paper, but that's a decent loss for Milwaukee. Good pickup for Charlotte. Joe Ingles resigned with the Wolves. That was Dorian Finney-Smith. I'm sorry, I butchered it. I was thinking about Caldwell Pope for whatever reason. Caldwell Pope is in Memphis, right? Miles Turner to the Bucks, which is intriguing because from what I read, I don't think it's like his agents. I don't know if it was his agent or if it was Miles himself. I'm sure. I think it was his agent. They didn't even really give Indiana a chance to rebuttal. Like from what I've read, Indiana was definitely interested in bringing him back. I don't think it was a money thing. I think they were going to pay him what he had inevitably got from Milwaukee. So maybe he just wanted to leave. Maybe he wasn't happy in Indiana. But I mean, you get a chance to play with Giannis, one of the best players in the world. I understand it. I get it. But you were one game away from an NBA championship, dude. Now, I know it's going to look a little weird because, Tyrese is hurt and, you may think, okay, well, damn, we got this high almost to the, the actual mountaintop. Now our best player is out for the season, maybe even longer. I want to continue to compete and contend. So let me leave. I don't know. It may be a little bit more to that story than just, him saying, "Ooh, I get to play with Giannis." Maybe he just didn't want to be in Indiana. So, but we'll see how that goes. I don't know if that's enough to entice Giannis to stay. Re-signing Bobby and getting Miles Turner. I think I saw earlier Cole Anthony is being bought out in Memphis, and he's expected to sign with Milwaukee. So, there's a point guard for you. And then I also saw where I guess Milwaukee's interested in Chris Paul. So we'll see how that goes. I still don't know. Chris Paul, Miles Turner. They got another. Damn it. Maybe I'll see it on here, but they got some other pieces. I think that they just recently signed. I still don't know if that's enough to say to Giannis that we are fully engaged in putting the pieces around you to contend for a championship. I don't know. And it seems like they keep pissing Giannis off. If they waived Dame and they didn't run it by him first, it seems like this is your guy. He's one of the greatest players to ever play in a Buck uniform. You probably would run these things by him or at least inform him before you do it. I don't know. Maybe the front office don't feel like they need to do that with their main guys, but I think they should probably keep them in the loop. That's just me. The Mavs signing DeAngelo Russell. That's a good pickup. Now he'll be supplemental since Kyrie is going to be out until probably beginning of the playoffs, a little bit after All-Star weekend, maybe, depending on what the Mavericks season looks like. Because if they looking like crap, there's no reason to bring Kyrie back next season. Like if AD is struggling to stay on the floor, and Clay is in and out of the rotation, then just spend next season developing Cooper Flagg. Don't even rush Kyrie back unless you are in a position to actually play for something. If AD is on the floor and he's able to stay healthy with Gafford and Lively and Clay and Flagg, and now you signed DeAngelo Russell who can supplement, he can just slide in, pause, and hold down the fort while Kyrie is out. Dallas should still be freaking nice. They should be top 6 in the West for sure. With healthy. This is all predicated on AD being healthy. And, that's, you don't want to bet your house on AD being healthy for the whole season. That's for damn sure. The Rockets re-signed Fred VanVleet. James Harden re-signed with the Clippers. The Clippers are They're sneaky. They're sneaky. Harden's back. Kawhi is all, again, predicated on if Kawhi is healthy and available. They traded my man, Norm Powell. Traded Norm Powell. He's in Miami now. I forgot about Norm Powell being in Miami. He's in Miami now, but they got John Collins. Right? Am I correct? The Clippers got John Collins. And I've read where they're interested in Bradley Beal if he's bought out by the Suns. So if the Clippers mess around and get Bradley Beal, and they got Brook Lopez. Clippers are sneaky. They're sneaky. And Brook is coming off the bench. He's not starting over Zubac. If Kawhi is able to stay healthy, don't be surprised if the Clippers come out of the Western Conference next season. It's all predicated on Kawhi, though. I don't know how to pronounce his name. What is it? Gurushan Yabusele Yabadabadu. It's a good signing for the Knicks. So. Lakers got Ayton, of course. It's a good signing for them. Jake LaRavia, good signing. Bring back Jackson Hayes cheaply. It's a good signing. I really think Ayton is going to. I'm not saying that Ayton is going to push the Lakers over the hump. I still don't think that they're good enough because they're still depending heavily on a 40-year-old. LeBron should be the third option somewhere on a team that's contending. If he wants to contend, he should be a third option. He shouldn't still be the first or second option. And I don't care how I don't really care how much he is still contributing or how he's able to still score 25 points a game. That's cool. But he shouldn't have to. And eventually, the Father Time is undefeated. Eventually, it's going to catch up to him. The man's 40. It'll be 41 at the end of this year. Still depending that tough. And they obviously are positioning themselves for the future. And I said it before, and I'll say it again on this stream. The Lakers are going to get Nikola Jokic. They're going to. He did not sign the extension with the Nuggets. That should tell you something right there. He's not committing to them long term. You can say, oh, well, he didn't sign it because he can get more money next year. Yeah, maybe. I think that's the case, though. I think that at the end of the day has ended. And that day is ended with Jokic playing for the Los Angeles Lakers alongside Luka. Watch. Just watch. In the video that I have posted on this channel, as a matter of fact, I'm going to play it right now. Because I think that video deserves a shit ton of views. And it deserves to blow up. As soon as you get that notification that says that Nikola Jokic signed with the Los Angeles Lakers, I need people to, I need my flowers. I'm going to need my flowers. Yeah, this is weird because I never like to hear myself. Knowing NBA history, Bron gonna retire, then Giannis gonna announce going to LA because the Lakers. You know who I wouldn't be surprised winds up in Los Angeles once LeBron is retired? Hear me out. Nikola Jokic. This was 5 months ago. February 11th. I said this 5 months ago, February the 11th, 2025. So regardless of if this happens a year from now, 2 years from now. Again, I'm not going to say that I said it first, but Ray J. So there's that. But the Lakers are definitely like, LeBron, you need to move your ass. And him opting into that $53 million or whatever. Say whatever you will about, well, players shouldn't have to take pay cuts. Man, you got to be realistic. All right. This is a business. And these franchises are not necessarily trying to pay a tax if they don't have to. You don't want to pay your taxes. So if you are already a billionaire, you're 40 years of age, and you command that much money, you command that much of the cap, you yourself, but then you also complaining that they ain't putting enough pieces around you to compete. What the hell you think they supposed to do when you commanded $53 million at 40 years of age, dude? Like, you commanding number one option money. And at this stage of your career, you shouldn't be the number one option. What's wrong with taking 30 and leaving 23 on the table for you to go and get some other role players to put around you? What's wrong with I don't know, taking 20 and leaving another max type contract on the table for them to go get a big name? You already a billionaire, dude. I don't know. It's easy for me to say sitting over here with a couple $100 in my bank account, but I'm looking at it from a standpoint of you already have billions of dollars. If right now it's more important for you to contend for another championship than to put some extra paper in your pocket, then leave some paper on the table. That's all I'm saying. So you get what you give. The Clippers signed Brook Lopez. Good signing for them. Backup center. He'll stretch the floor. He ain't gonna rebound though. Let's see. Jabari Smith resigned extension. Dallas locking up Kyrie even though he's hurt. That's dope, and I like it. I like the commitment from Kai because it's always well, Kyrie is finicky. He might try to make a move here or whatever. Nah, I think he really enjoys being here, and the people have enjoyed Kyrie being here. Like, everything's popping on me. He's been embraced heavily by the Dallas fans, and people are still reeling. People here, I'm in the DFW. People are still reeling from Luka being traded. I think all of that goes away when, and I say when, not if, but when Cooper Flagg emerges as the guy. Like, they're going to strap a rocket to Cooper. If Cooper Flagg lives up to the hype, he's going to be the new face of the league. How about that? Not SGA, not Ant-Man, not Tatum, not even Luka. You got an all-American, just clean white boy. Like, he's just quintessential. He got game. He can hoop. He looks marketable. He ain't got a whole bunch of tattoos visible. All he got to do is have the game and back it up with his game. They're gonna have a rocket that's gonna be strapped to his back. Cooper Flagg. His last name is Flagg, the American flag. He's definitely in the runnings. He can be, anyways, the new face of the league. All you gotta do is come in and hoop. Just do you. And I'm here for it. I'm a Cooper fan flag. I'm a Cooper Flagg fan. Say that 5 times fast. So salute to the Mavs. I thought Nick Batum was retiring. Why the hell is Batum in? Trey Jones re-signed with the Bulls. Not to skip over Larry Nance Jr., but that's a good signing. Sam Merrill. Yeah. Dennis Schroeder to the Kings. Very solid backup point guard for Detroit. Sacramento was looking for a point guard. I mean, does Schroeder go and start? I know they're looking at Russ, and I really hope Russ does not go to Sacramento. Like, go somewhere where he can actually contend. You're not winning a damn thing in Sacramento, so hopefully he doesn't go there. But that's a good signing for Sacramento. Dennis Schroeder's a solid point. Utah got Kevin Love. I haven't seen anything as a follow-up. That's the the Norman Powell and John Collins trade, I would imagine Kevin Love gets bought out and he signs with a contender. I don't see him playing in Utah. But Norm going to Miami, I mean, we'll see how that goes. Now he's going to have more of a consistent green light, and he had that when Kawhi was hurt, and he emerged. He was a leading scorer. He was playing like an all-star, and that went away when Kawhi got back. So now being in Miami, we'll see how that goes. But you're also playing with some other young, hungry guys that they want to show that they're the man too. Bam ain't gonna just Norm is coming in here. We gonna pass it off to him. Tyler Hero, damn sure ain't gonna do that. So we'll see how that goes for him. But I think John Collins to the Clippers is solid. I think it's solid. Duncan Robinson is what I was thinking about with Detroit. He fits them. They need shooting. Tim Hardaway went to Denver, so you lose some shooting. But you get it back with Duncan. Duncan is, when his shot's going, he's one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. So good pickup for Detroit. Jrue Holiday to Portland for the second time. Again, this is another one of those I don't see Jrue playing for Portland. I think maybe he's bought out or rerouted. He can definitely help a contender. I wouldn't want to see him, wasted in Portland. So hopefully something comes about that. He's either bought out or rerouted. Anthony Simons to Boston, and I've read that they were maybe looking to offload him. So I don't know. It was just a complete salary dump to get off of Jrue, because they were. I don't know if they were hovering at the second apron, but they may have been. I think that their salaries, their player salaries, was the highest in the NBA, I think, last season. If I'm not mistaken. I'm quite certain it was. Let's see. Brooklyn got Terrence Mann. Boston got George Niang. The Kristaps Porzingis to the Hawks, like I mentioned earlier. It's a good pickup. Atlanta's gonna be a sleeper team in the East. Gary Trent re-signed. Shea got the bag. Now I'm probably either gonna do a live or a separate video talking about OKC because it's intriguing. They sold up their three, their core. You put pieces around that core. All you gotta do is have the core together. You got the core, and then your role players are just kind of, they might be plug and play. You have some, you lose them, and you bring some more in. But man, you don't really see small market teams throw the money at their top guys like OKC just did, and I think it was all predicated on them winning the championship. If they didn't win this past championship, I don't see them bringing all of those guys back at the money that they brought them back with. So. But I'll talk about that more in depth, probably on a separate live or a separate video. Detroit, they got Karis LeVert. Good pickup for them. Karis will come in and give you some instant points off the bench. I think he'll fit just fine with Detroit and what they're trying to do down there or up there. Let's see, Jacob Poto re-signed. Poto can never. It feel like his last name got some extra letters that ain't even supposed to be there. Orlando threw the bag at Powell, rightfully so. Kevon Looney. Oh, Kevon Looney. Let's see. Why is my chat not updating? I didn't even see this over here. I don't want to reset it. I just leave this up. I don't know why my chat's not updating. I'm sorry. Do I know if Valanciunas stays in Denver? Yeah. So he was what the foreign club was trying to get him. I think that has been kind of ex-nayed. So yeah, he's going to stay. From what I read recently, he's going to stay in Denver, or he's going to report to Denver. The Nassus is the move for Bucks. The Nassus is only going to get re-signed if Giannis stays. Like that's what I read. Like he is like the Make-A-Wish kid almost. Like he's there just for the sake of making Giannis happy. That's it. No other reason, but just to make Giannis happy. So, why is my chat not updated over here? Let me pop this up. Give me a second. Okay. Boom. Let's do that. Okay. You know what? Can I highlight chat? Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me see if I can highlight chat. While in the booth. Let's see. I think I can. Give me a second. Oh no. I can't. That's right. It's a different window. I feel like it's the same size though. I can't. I'll play around with it. I may have different configurations. All on the fly, ladies and gentlemen. All on the fly. All right. We're back at it. What was I talking about? Oh, Looney. Looney's one of those guys where no, he's not a household name. I guess if you're not a Golden State fan, you probably don't really know who Kevon Looney is. If you're just a casual NBA fan. But, he did he did the intangibles for Golden State. I think they're gonna miss him. I do. And I forgot that with Looney and Jordan Poole, I think they're both from like Milwaukee or something like that. So now they're back playing with each other, and that gives Poole, some familiarity. Being back with somebody that he, had high success with. So salute to Kevon Looney. I hope he does well in New Orleans. And he might start too. Like, who is they starting center? I don't know. Yeah, he might start with New Orleans. I don't know what the paper looks like. He very well might start. Let's see. Kyle Lowry resigned with the Sixers. Davion Mitchell resigned with the Heat. The Bucks signed Kevin Porter Jr. or resigned. Boston got Luka Garza from Minnesota. Jordan Clarkson to New York. Like I said earlier, that's a great pickup for them. Boston got Josh Minot. Indiana signed James Wiseman. Didn't he tear his Achilles or tore his ACL or something too? Like, he was hurt. Because they probably could have played him in the finals. I think he was hurt. He wasn't available. Let's see. Luke Cornett to the Spurs was a good pickup for them. I don't really know what their lineup is going to look like, San Antonio, because they have so many guards, so many points. You got De'Aaron Fox, you got Castle, you got Harper now, you got Vassell, what it Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Salkram. Wemby, is Wemby a center? Do you put him at center? Is he a power forward? Does he want to be a guard? What does that lineup look like? Do you play Wemby with Cornette, like two bigs? Since Wemby isn't like your typical center, you have a traditional center alongside, and Cornette can stretch the floor out a little bit too, right? It's intriguing. It's interesting what San Antonio's going to do. I think eventually they may move off of De'Aaron Fox, and this season is for Dylan Harper to come in, for you to see exactly what you're going to get from him. You know what you're going to get from Stephon Castle. He's going to be Castle and Wemby. Those are your guys. Now, who's going to be that third guy? Is it going to be Vasil? Is it going to be Dylan Harper? Do you say, okay, we got Harper. What he's doing for us isn't necessarily what we need. Maybe we stick with De'Aaron Fox and we try to move Harper and get some pieces. Or we look at it as, okay, we got Harper, we got Castle, we got Wemby. This is our core nucleus. Let's move Fox to see if we can get some pieces, some veteran pieces, some established pieces, put around that core. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. But that's a good pickup from them. Cornette. Let's see. Orlando, where are we at? We're just at the 7th? Jesus, there's been so many moves. We'll speed through it. Speed through it. Michael Porter to Brooklyn. Cam Johnson to Denver. Really solid. Really solid. I think this trade will work both ways. If Michael Porter Jr. is healthy, then to me this is kind of a push. They're pretty much the same player, if you ask me. I just think that this is helpful for both. It gives both of them a change of scenery. Michael Porter can go to Brooklyn. I seen a podcast that he was on a little while ago where he was talking about the pressures of playing and being like the guy and all this jazz, and maybe playing alongside Yoke was too much pressure for him. He definitely seems like one of those guys where his mental could easily be rattled. And, he's had a history of injuries and being in and out of the lineup because of injuries. So going to Brooklyn where the pressures is off, they're not playing for anything. Nobody's expecting Brooklyn to compete, but just be competitive and just, focus on getting your health and maintaining your health. So I'm looking for Porter Jr. to have a solid season next year. Cam Johnson is going to help Denver, though. He's going to help him. He's more reliable than Michael Porter as far as being in the lineup, being available, and he can shoot the cover off the ball. So, I think this trade will work for both teams. But I think that Denver, in the grand scheme of things, won because of the availability aspect. Ryan Rollins, Gary Harris to Milwaukee, Luke Kennard to Atlanta. Solid pickup for Atlanta. Great outside shooter. Milwaukee brought back Taurean Prince, Jrue Eubanks. I thought he got picked up. Sacramento. Okay. Isaiah Stevens, Quentin Jackson, Cam Jones, Aaron Holiday re-signed with Houston. Aaron, I think, will get more PT. It seemed like every time I saw Aaron in the game, he was shooting the laces off the ball. Like, I didn't understand why he was not able to stay in the rotation consistently with Houston. So we'll see how that moves. Livers, Alex Reese, Seth Lundy. Olynyk. Okay, Olynyk got traded, so he's not with Washington. I think I mentioned him earlier. So Kelly Olynyk is with San Antonio. Solid pickup for them. San Antonio is going to be not necessarily a sleeper team because got Wemby. It's one of the best in the world. So, but I think that they're definitely going to make a step forward if healthy. I don't know if that puts them top 6 in the West, but they should definitely be top end of the play-in. 7, 8, 7, 8. Maybe it does put them in the top 6. I still think that they might be a year away. They're still really young. All right. Let's see. Uncle Jeff is back. Jericho Sims. Denver brought back Bruce Brown. Probably should have never let him go. It's one of them ones where it's like, damn, we didn't know what we had until we lost it. He definitely was a contributing factor to them winning the chip. So it was good for them to bring him back. Let's see. Washington signed Martin Bagley. Phoenix threw the bag at Devin Booker. Still think that there's other places that Book could, definitely fit in, that he would be in a better position to contend for a championship. But, I understand it. I understand it. He wants to be one of those guys that he, plays his entire career one franchise, and it's noble. I'm just not convinced that Phoenix is going to do enough to put, the pieces around him to actually win the chip. And, they were hella close in 21. That team mimicked that squad. Get him a point guard so that he can get off the ball. He doesn't have to initiate the offense, facilitate, and then give you 30 points. Like, bring it. He needs a point guard. He has Jalen Green next to him, so he has another guy that can get you 20, 25, potentially 30 points. You got a big in Mark Williams now, and I don't know exactly their complete roster, but I don't think that they have a point. You got to get a point guard down there for him. But salute to the Book for the paper. I think he's like, what is it? It's something crazy. The extension is something crazy. He's making hella paper per year. Hella paper. So salute to Book. I'm a Book fan. I like Book. Nuggets getting Tim Hardaway Jr. That's added shooting off the bench. Great pickup for them. And we're caught up, okay? Mavs re-signed Dan Gafford. They gave him a nice little extension, too. Nice extension. And then the Spurs re-signed Jordan Clarkson. So, did you remove the space? Man, stop spamming in the chat. Ouch. Let me see something real quick. About an hour and a half. I'm gonna get y'all up out of here in a second. Let's look at this free agent tracker. It's a lot of them. See if there's any big names in here. I don't even know if I need to pull it up. No, I don't think so. So, yeah, I mean, I think overall it's been a very active free agency, very, very active offseason, and I think it's going to be some more moves, some big moves. Still don't know exactly what's going to happen with Giannis. He has not committed long-term to Milwaukee. Don't know what's going to happen with LeBron. I mean, there's been a lot of chatter. I made a video, maybe a week or so ago, stating that maybe the Lakers should look to trade LeBron to Golden State. I think that would be beneficial to both teams to be able to get something from LeBron, opt into the last year of his contract. More than likely, if he plays it out, he's going to go somewhere else. I don't think he's going to retire after next season. And the Lakers they don't seem to be interested in bringing him back. So if you don't see yourself, if you don't see him being with the Lakers until he retires, then you might as well try to get something from him or for him. Might as well. That's the way I look at it. Don't just let him walk. I mean, call up a team and see if they're desperate enough to give you some young pieces, or a few pieces or whatever for LeBron, because they want to win now, and I think Golden State would be desperate enough to do so. Now, who they would have to give up, I'm not sure, but I could see that being a place for him. He's on record as saying that he wanted to play with Steph, or that's one of the guys that he could see himself playing with or wanted to play with. So, uh, that would be a decent spot for him. I definitely think that something's going to transpire, because I don't think either side is happy. I think the Lakers are now in a position where they're looking towards the future. And LeBron obviously is not part of that future. Man's 40. Okay, so don't know how that's going to transpire. Where Dame Lillard is going to land. He has the entire season to rehab, but I think I could see him signing with a squad and being with that squad during the rehab. I don't think he's going to stay a free agent all next season. I think he's going to probably let the dust settle, see where everybody lands, and then I can see him picking a team. And I wouldn't be surprised if Golden State was that squad for Dame. And speaking of Golden State, they have not made any moves. Al Horford is the only name that I've seen thus far that is going to potentially sign with them, but they haven't made any moves. I mean, you can't bring back the team as constructed right now and think that, okay, well, we're going to contend for a championship. I think having Jimmy for, during the offseason and then like training camp, and I think that would definitely be beneficial because, of course, they only had him for half the season, a little under half the season. And then in the playoffs, they were looking pretty good, I mean, Jimmy wasn't healthy. He messed his tailbone up or ass bone or whatever, and then Steph, he gets hurt and he's not able to play. But before Steph got hurt, he was looking like that. Minnesota was looking like barbecue chicken to Golden State. So, don't know how the Kuminga saga is going to end up for them. It's looking like they're going to keep him at least until the trade deadline next season, because then they can get full return when they move him. They will only be able to bring back half of what they send out. So they wouldn't get back the fullest of potential of a trade if they moved him right now. So I get it from that standpoint. But you might also play yourself in a position where we got to keep him. You give an entire offseason training camp and all of that to Kuminga, and I've seen some of his workout tapes. He seemed like he puts in the work. Get him, get Jimmy, get all those guys in the gym. Let them work throughout the summer. Let them work together throughout the summer. Steve Kerr, the onus is on you, man. You a coach. You can't say that, oh, this guy can't fit. This dude is a natural athlete. He just don't know how to play the game of basketball from an NBA perspective. He's raw talent. 22, 23, still young. Still hella young. I think it honestly would be a mistake if they traded that kid. I do. Because I think that he can't play with Jimmy. They can figure it out. It's lazy coaching. You can't just, the offense is Steph and Steph only, because it's been proven that if Steph is not on that floor for Golden State, they look like boo-boo. Hot boo-boo. Basuda. Crap. Caca. So you got to have some offense for the Steph-less minutes. And it can't just be free-for-all basketball. Just give him the ball. And he played with the Bulls. He played the triangle. He know the triangle. Triangle would be excellent for a Jimmy Butler, for a Jonathan Kuminga. The triangle would be excellent when Steph is not on the floor. Hell, the triangle would work with Steph on the floor. Maybe implement some of that. The pin downs and, the pinch post where Draymond is normally at, and he does the dribble handoffs, and that's all good when Steph's on the floor because he's running and running. But then also maybe if you think about implementing an offense that may slow it down a little bit, you got to also think that Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler are not spring chickens, especially Steph, who is 37, and most of his game, the majority of his game, requires him running off of screens. What was it, the hamstring that he messed up, or the groin, or whatever it was? It's a lot of running this dude do all throughout the game. I don't know. The onus is on the coaching staff, man. You gotta have some you gotta have some offense for your dynamic players. If you trade Jonathan Kuminga, who are you gonna bring? Who will you bring in? You have to go get somebody like a Giannis or a LeBron or somebody. Because I mean, you bring in some other role players, they got to figure out how they're gonna play with Steph too. You got Kuminga, who is a guy that's looking for his own shot, like he's trying to create for himself. Those are the type of guys that you need with Steph. You need guys that can create for themselves. You don't just necessarily need somebody that's just gonna stand in the corner. You got a few of them already. You need somebody else that can create offense as well. So we'll see how that works for them. Around the association, I'm just thinking, OKC is intriguing. They bringing their squad back. Houston is going to be up there. Minnesota, they gave Naz Reid a hefty extension. So, yeah, I mean, it's a lot going on. A lot has going on thus far in the NBA. So we'll see what happens moving forward. I appreciate everybody and anybody that pulled up to the streams. We have been live on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. If you're not following any of all of those, make sure that you hit the subscribe button before you leave the stream on the YouTube side. Coach Crisco, if you're on Twitch, and if you're on TikTok, YouTube, Coach Crisco. Go subscribe to the channel. Follow the Twitch. Follow the TikTok. More than likely, I'm going to be trio streaming moving forward on all those platforms. So I appreciate you for pulling up to the stream. I may stream later tonight, if not tomorrow. We'll chop it up about OKC. And, really, I mean, it's unprecedented what they've, done. Locking up their core for the foreseeable future. So appreciate you for pulling up to the stream. I hope everybody has a great rest of your Sunday. Don't get into any trouble. See you on the next one.